Hello, how we doing? Welcome. Hi, how we doing? Remember this map? Haven't been here in a little while. This has actually been an on-again, off-again project to rebuild this map into something that actually functions for more than 5 minutes at a time. It only ever technically worked this base, it never actually worked. And it's been an on-again, off-again project to rebuild it into something functional. I think last time I was playing around with oil. I don't remember if I streamed it or not. I know I've done it at least once or twice. It might have been the stoves, the copper stoves. I was redoing that. I think I redid that. Well, as you can see, it's nearly done. The, the steel's nearly ground to a halt. But that's a detail for another day. And I ended up, the thing that motivated this is I picked up the... Are you actually building things? Okay, you are actually building things. Very good. The thing that actually motivated this was I picked up the entire oil base component over here and moved it over 4 rail tiles. I inserted 4 tracks here and I was like, you know what? This would make a better train game than the other train game. And so here we are. As far as things go, I've been trying to think about what to do with this science block. I think one of the things that needs to be done is that the control units need to be ripped out. Probably also these things, whatever you call them. The thing that takes the steel and the copper and the plastic. The whatsamajigs. The lightweight kajigas. Because these things have never really worked. When they were set up here, it's not really worked properly. Like, the science blocks have been good, but the rockets part has always been a bit wonky, and I've never really liked it. So that's another thing that needs to be done around here. I mean, that's probably a more long-term project, considering that the furnaces and the oil still need to be done. Beyond that, so the other major thing that needs to be done here, I don't know if I want to keep it or not, is the split copper iron thing. I might try it again. It's a really clever idea. And I like the idea of it. It's just really weird. It always had throughput problems. Because the train bringing the iron and copper in has to go to each smelter, then back to the unload. Which means its cycle time is really long. It's also not really compatible with modern train thinking, with having train stop limits. So I suppose I may have talked myself out of it, having said that. Now, I think first item on the agenda is to probably tear up science. Just first things, just tear something up. You know, just make the construction queue work even harder than it already is. I'm actually not sure why. So this thing was built. I'm not sure if it's just the construction queue or if it is actually missing... Oh no, it's got beacons. It's got, yeah, it's got assembly machines. Okay, it's just the construction queue. Never mind then. Carry on. It'll sort itself out eventually. It'll just take a little while. I might need to give the steel smelter a little bit of a poke. If I was particularly intelligent, I wouldn't walk all the way back, but having said that, the train track isn't really connected at the minute. I mean, having said that, I'm pretty sure the passenger component is running still, because I think I specifically reconnected the supply component so that it wouldn't get stuck. But no, I'm just going to brute force it, doing it the long way. But for now, we can just say, hey, how are we doing? Hey, operator. How's your week been so far? Has it been painfully cold? It's actually been pretty good today. Oh, this week actually, a little bit wet, but the sun actually came out for the first time in weeks. That was something. It's got random trains stuck, desperate to find a place to go, littered all over the map. It also occurred to me that, yeah, you're only partially filled, which means that you need to be emptied somewhere before you're allowed back in. Because the way this system works is there's no balancer. This is one of the bases which doesn't use any kind of balancing, so partial trains are really bad for the system. Not good. You came down with a fluor cold. Oh, that's no good. That's rough. Hope it gets better soon. The flu really just knocks you over. So I hope it isn't the flu particularly. Flu is really nasty. In particular. This poor little stone patch. It's a shadow of its former self. Train appears to be low on fuel. That's a problem for future me. Yeah, basically the gist of the project is to convert the trains from 8 long to 16 long, and also turn it into 4 16/4s. It was an interesting experiment, is what I'd like to think of it. But at the end of the day, this doesn't work. It needs to be a terminating type station. The superiority of the terminating outpost always shows. It was one of the biggest flaws of this and the 16K base was the through trains, the single-header trains. The only reason I did it back then was just to save on the 4 locos, because 4 locos did actually start to have a notable difference. Nice to relax watching a bit of Factorio though. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so this base was intended to do like 8,000 signs a minute. Alright, what contribution can we make here? If anything. What's actually remaining? Oh, okay. Oh, well, we'll just let the bots do a little bit of a cleanup. Oh, yeah, I gotta delete and restamp as well. That's why I'm doing this first. I remember now. When I was mentally doing all of the different things. Because so I marked the original smelter for deconstruction, but I excluded, if I bring this up, I excluded power poles, roboports and radars to make deconstruction a little bit easier. And so all that crap is still there, and this is just pasted over the top of it, which isn't great. Can I please? No. I appear to lack steel. Well, do you know what there's a lot of over here? Steel. Looked, time off work for the 2.0 release? I don't actually know what's going to happen with work at that point. So it'll be a bit, see how we do. Trouble is, I might be disappearing before then. Like, I might be getting some time off before then. So that'll be, a bit inconvenient. At least for the actual 2.0 release. Right, so what we want to do... mark all of that for decon. When does the old one stop? I think it stops there. Somewhere in here is a blueprint of the actual thingy. I guess all of that's got to go too. What's blocking you? Probably nothing important. And now it's just a matter of replacing all of the power poles and crap. We'll see how we go. Hopefully I'll have some time off. Because currently time is a little bit easier, so I can do more weekday stuff. I might rearrange things and do weekend stuff. I might start doing the Saturday morning again. If you remember those days when I used to do that until like 2 in the afternoon. Might be some of that again. And there's actually a lot of stuff to do. Yeah, we're doing like main playthroughs on the weekend, and then there's got to do like track blueprint updates, so that can happen during the week. Yeah, there's just a lot to do. Should actually send the spider on this. I mean, it's going to scoop up a few things along the way, but hopefully that won't be too bad. Man, a legendary spider would be so much better for this kind of construction. Whee! Now we've got so much more storage available. It's probably going to get used up. Yep, see? Already full. Knew that was going to happen. Even with a little bit of inventory, their spiders can still be a bit of a problem doing construction. Yeah, you come back here. There's also an argument to be made that I should actually make a whole army of them, and yep, I could. Trouble is, maintaining that army can be a pain in the ass. Suppose there is that blueprint logistics mod. Hello there, Tucker Bear. How are we doing? Yeah, there's a blueprint logistics mod that I could use to make life easier. It's just maintaining spiders currently is just kind of annoying. Yeah, see, its inventory is mostly full because this is meant for outpost stuff. It's not meant for what I'm using it for right now. This game looks familiar. Can I recommend it? I can. I think it. What are we at? 7,355 hours. I think it's a highly recommendable game. I mean, it's up there. It's one of those games that's very addicting. But I can't guarantee that you will lose all semblance of time, reality, and everything around you as it slowly consumes your life. You know, and just spend hours upon hours just stamping blueprints down, picking blueprints up, stamping blueprints down again. Are you pulling copper out? Yes, you are. That's why you're so busy there. Now, it's at that point that I realise it's probably in the wrong... yeah, it's kind of in the wrong spot. But I think it's fixable, because the outlet of the copper's there, so I can push... I had sort of earmarked that there for the iron track, but I can shuffle it over a little bit. Because, yeah, this isn't long enough to support the correct length of train. You only have 300-ish on Steam? Because you do a fresh install for all modded games. Ah, yeah. I mean, I have, admittedly, not many, but I have pre-Steam hours as well that are not counted. So yeah, you gotta pick that up. Yep, that's the E key. That's not the button I want. It's got to go like somewhere over there. It's a Veldak. How we doing? Hello. Yeah, Factorio hype. I was like, yeah, I didn't really feel like the train game today, so let's do a train game instead. Oh, this is going to be a mess that's going to take ages to sort itself out. It's actually tempting to just leave it to its devices, because it's probably... Oh, you know what? Don't lose my train of thoughts. I try not to, but it happens all the time. It's like keeping my train of thoughts is like trying to keep it in a colander. No matter what I do, it just sort of gets lost. Because it's a colander, and it falls out. Yeah, if I push down this away, that should join the roboports and sort all that crap out. It doesn't answer the ultimate question, though. Where the hell am I going to put the low densities and the control units? Because I haven't decided that yet. I also need to convert them to 16 wagons, because they're all 8 wagons currently, which is the other thing that I'm avoiding. Yeah, all of this needs to be converted to 16 wagons, and I don't really want to do it. There's an immense pressure to not do it. It does mean that I squish up science all the way to the end, which is nice. I could put it there, but I do... So the big part of the problem with this map is that things are not really spaced out that well. I suppose I could just push it out even further. Or actually... Maybe move it there. And push science up to there. Just got to think about the junctions though. So copper's going to be somewhere up here. Then you're going to have oil. Then you're going to have iron. I suppose copper could be way further over. It doesn't have to be there. So yeah, oh, this needs to move over as well, because that's pushed really up close there. So this track will probably end up like hard up against, maybe even coming down here instead. So it'll come down the other side of the oil outpost here. So come down here, and then across. And you got this across here. Taps into the oil base. There's also this one up here. So circuits needs to really slide down to here. Or maybe even over there. Over here. It's one of those things I always tend to do, is cramp things up a little too tight. I suppose moving the science base closer to spawn wouldn't hurt. Maybe even up there where blue circuits is, because for some reason blue circuits is up there. Why I ever chose to put blue circuits up there, I'll never know. It's one of those things that just came to be. Yeah, so what do you reckon? Where's the you? So you move to there. That's inclusive of all labs, goes up there. You Suikits also includes that somewhere over there. Oh, actually, that needs water. So that's not so straightforward. It could I could swap the because this thing has acid here, acid production here, so it needs water. I could train water in. It's not the end of the world. I'd actually just do that. Since yesterday, you learned how to debug Azure API management using command line tools, because debug support stopped working in Portal for you. I feel like their minds are a little bit occupied at the minute, and so that's why it stopped working. So yeah, that thing comes along there, and then it can have a branch there. It could also lead up into there. It's a lot of concentrated traffic though. Hmm. Play Factorio as a reward? That's a top reward, that is. A well-deserved reward. Even these... Yeah, those three junctions are way too close to each other. I think the answer is really just push out this way a lot further. This area is sort of tied up. Hey, 55. This area is sort of tied up just because oil base is already there. I mean, part of me wants to pick up and move oil base, but at the same time, picking up and moving oil base is really annoying because I've already done it and I don't want to do it again. But it wouldn't hurt to move it to... It could fit like there and make a hell of a... Even flipping it and putting it that side would make a hell of a lot more sense than where it is currently. But as I say, it's sort of already committed. Yeah, so we've got the control units and that over here, circuits and all that. I think it's just a matter of doing the thing now. Thinking the stuff. I wonder... Need to do a multiplayer cleanup session? It's not a bad idea. I mean, the only reason I haven't got it go. The reason I don't right now is because I didn't think of it earlier. You really just need like a big demo session, really, just demolish everything and pack it all down to the starter base. I mean, even the starter base needs a cleanup. It was never really finished. I never really finished it. Like the starter coal, the first coal is still there. I mean, it's historic at this point. Why the smelter is still there? Who knows? In fact, let's get rid of it. Oh, the engine. It's just, why are the engines there? It sort of needs its own mini production base. It's kind of like the ME, but it's got actual production lines on it. It's what the that's the kind of thing potentially the actually no, never mind. I was going to say the programmable assemblers are good for, but no, it's not without its problems. Where is that go? Ah, it's burning. Why are you burning coal? Interesting. I never would have expected that. It is actually leaning on a future me thing, which is I would like to do multiplayer sessions. Leaving the old starter base. It's fun to see where it came from. I'm pretty sure that's the reason why it exists the way it does currently. Evil Reyes, how you doing? Hi. How was the crust? Also, make sure you give Mr. Evil Reyes a follow. He's a cool guy. He does a lot of the same stuff. Does a lot of Factorio. Doing a lot of other automation games and things and stuff and junk. The crust was amazing. Were you doing it with Big Wick as well? I happened to spy he was online earlier. I didn't get to say hi, unfortunately. I haven't seen Mr. Wick in a long time. Need to say hi. Or if you see him tomorrow morning, tell him I said hi. Oh, okay, just streaming to you. Yeah, because it's not a multiplayer. The Crust isn't a multiplayer game, so you can't really multiplayer. Yeah, for those that don't know, Mr. Reyes and Big Wick often stream together. They playing the same game and different streams, but hanging out in the same Discord chat and that sort of thing. Good fun. Tell you what I actually thought of on the weekend, actually, that it just reminded me, thinking of you two. Railbus. That's something I haven't thought about in a long time. I've got to be said, as far as train bases go, Railbus has always been one of my favourites. Just the idea being is that it's a main bus, but it's trains. That's the gist of it. And yeah, that's something that I always say I want to go back to and never did. Railbus 2.0 when 2.0 comes out, just you wait. Oh, it would be so good with the bridges and tunnels, because that was the one limitation of the Railbus, was the gigantic crossings. It's part of the reason why I sort of put the pin in the Factorio 2 Megabase, is the junctions were just not going to work. That and the tedium of building a base. I really should have tested that one better, more thoroughly. Yeah, trains go up and over. Because, yeah, you can have trains come in on one layer and go out on another layer. Going to be some crazy junctions going on there. You know, it's serious when even your own bots won't come out in a timely fashion. Oh, it's because the arm is flat. Because of course it is. By the way, this is 3 reactors that have been recoded to 2.5 megawatts, and it's still not enough to run bots. Oh, it'll simplify junctions, but they'll visually be a mess. That's really what will happen. As far as the logistics of them go, they'll be much simpler. It's just that it'll be just spaghetti of track. No power is enough to run the bots as big as my build. Yeah, there's a bit of that too. There's definitely a bit of that. I actually need to figure out the geometry of and how that's going to work with the rail blueprints, or if it even does work with the blueprints. I might need to make some placeholder tiles or something. Some way that I can simulate it so I can get an idea of the geometry. How is actually the pollution doing too? Oh, yep. It's like that still. I'm going to do the PCB thing with one layer of north-south, the other is east-west. That would be interesting to do. I've sort of done that already with belts. Now we get to do it with trains. You can do it with the city block type build. I mean, not that you would ever want to do a city block build. Oh yeah, I don't mean the full thing. It's more just the angles and curvature. So, because there's that new 22-degree angle, I don't know how that's going to fit with the tileable blueprint. I think because currently that one, the 22-degree one, will be effectively a half tile, which means I might need to make a half grid or something of that nature, or make it twice as long. It's just one of those things I haven't really thought out yet. And that's what happens in those situations, what I really want to try and headache out, rather than actually making the blueprints. Or like the international terminals, passengers coming in on top, and then inbound on the top and outbound on the bottom. Yeah. You can get a fair few ideas for unloads already from the FFFs of the rails that we've seen already. There's definitely some inspiration to be had there. Those bots will unstuck on their own eventually. These ones, as soon as I get rid of this over here, oh, you can see them sort of pulling back into the roboports, which I'm pretty sure aren't powered. They are, for the most part, deadlocked, as they are, and manual intervention is pretty much necessary. But there is still a chance that they'll eventually sort themselves out, like, because the rest of the base is doing things. Actually, I think they're... Oh no. All the one where you can see it's complaining about storage capacity, it's because it's a broken... I don't know why you're complaining, actually. But yeah, there's a lot of islands of robo network, which is sort of what's upsetting things. And that's really what I'm fixing at the minute. So these bots are all floating because they're tied to a network that's not attached to the actual network anymore. If I pull these roboports up, they'll all get sucked into the correct network again. Or they'll all get sucked into the main network again. Yeah, and that's why I'm just sort of going up and down here, fixing the build. Finishing removing things, adding things. Yeah, there's another island again. I guess I will be trashing some of it. There we go. It doesn't help that a whole bunch of bots are all stuck where they can't do any useful work. There we go. You see a whole bunch more of them just rocket off. I just want to get this into a place where it'll mostly work, and then we'll move on. Just let the bots do their thing. It's like over here the bots have been doing their thing just happily. Alright, that's pretty well covered now. Just want to make sure the power's there. That looks good. Yeah, you can see more pulling down. There we go. I don't know if they actually had a limit I assumed that there was only effectively 2 layers for the, thinking back to what you're saying before, going back to that, with the elevator rails. As far as I was aware, that you could only go 1 layer up. It was like an elevated layer and a ground layer. I suppose that does open up the opportunity for mods to add multiple layers. Yep, we've got plenty of substations. Some stations are the main thing that I want. You connect the roboports. You can see there's a few of my bots, the green ones, that are struggling trying to place things where a decon is in progress. Another thing that's going to be fixed in 2.0. It's really annoying. That's probably one of the more annoying things with the game currently. Just in general, it's really annoying when the bots always try and place things before removing other things. Alright, I think that'll do it. Well, nearly. Early mod thing you see is the ability to run new rails, run ground rails through the supports. Yeah, I can see that happening. There we go, freed up some more construction bots. I guess I am actually going to go down here then and sort out these little roboport highways. Alright, I think that'll actually do now. A little wine in the forum that won't work like that out of the box. I don't know what happened to the forum. There's been a change in general attitude. There's a lot more just surliness and cynicism on there now. And a lot of just general grumbling. I've noticed that in the last few FFFs. It's been a lot more complaining. There we go, I think that'll do. Okie day. So what would this look like? I suppose I know what I say that facetiously. What would it look like as a 16-way? It would be the same thing, just wider. Ah, that's convenient. I left notes for myself. So 12 by 8. So it'd be 6 by 16. Yeah, the whole thing would just shrink. It'd be like no science. I suppose I could double it up to like 16. Let's not get bold ideas here. What I might do... there should be... creative. I think the actual blueprints are in here. There's something in here. That's for sure. This is some early musings they had. There's the starter base though. That's the smelter. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. What the... That's doing a dance. These are all very obsolete, these are. Well, 1628. That's an old one. So this was, yeah, 1.0, wow, 0.0. Fair play. That was a pretty good release, the 1.0 release. What even are these? Well, I guess I'm going to do it raw then. We'll just pick up the science builds as they were. Unfortunately, I don't know where the blueprints went. I don't see... Oh, no, there they are. I was looking for those forever, and I couldn't find them. Alright, they need to go in the game blueprints. 8.1, apparently. Alright, can we actually manage to get there? Yes, we can. Just. The train managed to just clear out the way. Oh yeah, I don't think I've shown it off, but I do actually have an even bigger junction than this. It's a four-way version, a four-lane... 4-lane? 8-lane version of this, so 4 lanes each way of the same thing. It's intense. It actually doesn't have the split crossing, so it doesn't split the lines in half though. So it's not perfect. But it's still a thing. It's still very much a thing. Okay. So, where is it? There. You have... Ah, those are the individual components that make it up. That's rocket fuel. Silos. Well, we can work with the components. And I think the answer is pretty much more of the same. Just a big ass deconstruct of all of this. Of everything except those items. Except for the trains. We don't want to deconstruct the trains, please, and thank you. That would be an even bigger headache that I really don't want to deal with. Were these here for a reason? I feel like these I had filtered at some point. Why don't I have spiders to help? I don't remember now. If I'm completely honest. I don't actually remember why. For some reason, this map doesn't really utilize spiders. It's got defense spiders. Lots of defense spiders. I think there's the purple one. Where's the red one come from? There. You. You weren't even set up properly. cost fish. They're also a pain to set up. It was set to request, that's why. I was like, why is that bringing me things? Request as a set. Okay, those are necessary. That's probably not, that's probably not, that's probably not. There's probably a fair chunk of this I could just get rid of for good. How do you vibe? Think one-to-one trains with every single intermediate on the train would be in space age? Ooh, I don't know. I'd have to see what the actual intermediates are. I think the limiting factor on that will be the perishables, the things like moldy science, which and the jelly cubes, which can go bad and turn into waste. I think those will limit sushi trains. Also, just because I can, put these back. The parts for it should still be there, so there shouldn't be any harm. Now remember, kids, burner inserters can't grab off a yellow off anything faster than a yellow belt. As you can see, they're trying to and failing to grab the lumber until it reaches the end. And so you must always make sure that your belt is highly compressed of whatever is on it. That way the burner inserters can always grab. This is, of course, unless you read the FFF from 2 or 3 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, I think it was, where this is now fixed. Of course, it doesn't stop them using up their precious initial energy trying to grab things. There we go. Now we're burning stuff mindlessly. Is that actually 2... Oh yeah, it is 2 robo networks. You're trashing it as well? Yes, you are. Very good. Ah, spiders here. Oh, it's already done. I was like, I better save the thing, but no, it's already actually done. There should be a whole bunch of crap. There we are. Probably cram some solar panels in it. Just lots of batteries. 2... What is it? 2550. There's a third one, and then just solar panel the rest. Those are actually mined. So I put that in, there. Now back to 2. So now I've got my 2... Hang on. It's only 5. It's not 6. I mean, Sushi Train just dedicated trains, but something in a mod... Oh, okay. Yeah, carrying every intermediate seems... I mean, we've seen dev bases where they seem to be doing something pretty close to that already. But as I say, I don't know how you're going to deal with the moldy signs. That'll still be an interesting... that'll still be an interesting problem to solve. we looking here? Oh, good. I think that's managing just fine. Saying that, what's... Oh, you cannot path. Why can't you path? Well, actually, where are you trying to go? Oh, you're trying to go to here. And you can't. That's inconvenient. Are you actually... Yeah, you're running still. That's right, I pulled the track up because it started trashing all of this crap. That's annoying. Because I don't want this removing all of the stuff that from the smelter. So I'm just going to have to wait it out, I think. It'll just be a wait and see, I think. And the meta will evolve. It's funny, in Exterminator stream, thinking about how the meta has changed over the years. Because he was talking about the... He did this playthrough. One of his very, very first playthroughs was this Hydra map. Also, morning, what I presume to be Derek of Team McIntyre. Could be Amanda. I could have assumed it was I could have assumed the wrong person, but how you doing? For those that don't know, should know, Team McIntyre, made up of Derek and Amanda. See, I finally remembered the name. We often raid them, but I'm going to give you a shout out anyway. He's always doing, whenever I see you, we're always doing 100% speedrun. And you got the new time, didn't you? Or was it new time, or did you just miss it? I forget. Mellowhorn, you like using railway blueprints? Excellent. I'm glad you're getting good use out of them. Yes, you did get the world record back. Almost always, Derek. I mean, see, that's what I mean by almost, which means there is a chance it could have been Amanda instead. And I don't want to assume. So you've been playing... Oh, you've been playing Oni, taking a little break. Yeah, there's a new DLC out for Oni. It's a little mini DLC, which gives you the super duper ice cold. Which is kind of interesting. Now, I hope they... how is the blueprints to find? Because I put them on GitHub instead of the blueprint exchange page, mainly because the blueprint websites tend to change with the seasons. Alright, so what was that, 4? Eight. Yep, I don't know where the test save is gone, so we're doing it raw. You go to Discord and click the link. That's an easy way. It's just that unless you're a software developer, GitHub can be really unintuitive and unfriendly. You actually can always come here and go !BP. I need to, actually, in saying that, is it BP? I think I changed it to BP just because it was too... I kept forgetting that if it was Blueprint or BP. Yeah, I need to update the README part so that it's a little bit more user-friendly. You actually also have map strings as well. Not that I really keep them in any semblance of order. Oh my god, getting a download link off GitHub is painful. A normal blueprint link and instead supply the zip download directly. What you want is to take it to a page which gives you the string, the exchange string. And that's actually why, well, originally I used Pastebin, and then Pastebin decided to nuke everything. And that's how we ended up here, on GitHub. So what was that? That's 12. The 2, 4, 6. It's kind of crazy how little red science you actually need. So in theory, that's actually all that's needed to do the target science. I mean, there is a very strong temptation to double it anyway. I probably don't need to, but I kind of want to. Thank you for that follow. Both you, Melrom, and Vina earlier. I feel like it didn't play any sound though. It sort of comes and goes. There we go, I can go straight into the burner. Back from the store. Shopping was easy, only beers. Food was yesterday, beer... Oh, beer and food was yesterday. Now it's just beer today. I suppose I got all the widths sort of locked in anyway. Yeah, I was going to do a few things with those patches, but I guess I'm not going to now. Instead, I'm going to build on top of them. I mean, I've done it already there. What are they? 19 million, 10 million. Oh. But patches... I could use them... No. I'll have to work around it. Actually, if anything, losing the oil is more of a travesty. How are we looking down here? Pretty good. Things are going back into normality. It'll probably sort itself out eventually. How are we looking over here? Ah, the oil base is complete. This is good. I'll probably just leave this to do its thing. Actually, I'll get it to get a few of these going. Will all says work with the new Factorio DLC. So they've said. Sorry, I'm just counting. They've said that for at least the first version, the train tracks or the updated tracks will still work, but that things will change. Is that? Yeah, it's only 12. That's why I was confused. There we go. That should be 16. Because they're updating the rail tracks, they'll work at least initially, and then after that they'll be removed from the game, and then it won't be able to migrate anymore. So you should be able to migrate saves. The the is it one version or two versions now? They did actually. There used to be a guarantee that you'll always be able to pull the save forward at least 2 versions. There's actually an easy way to find out. Where are we at? So we're on 1.1. You're also 1.1. You're 1.0. You're 1.1. You're 1.1. So yeah, I can load 0.18. I suppose that's only one version ago. Come to think of it. Do I have a... Is that really a 1.1 base? Yeah, so you can't load a 17. The minimum version for 1.1 is 18, so it only goes back one version now. Okay, so that confirms that. The game only goes back one version now. So yeah, you'll be able to load your games into 2.0, but nothing after that. Having said that though, generally they make all the different versions available to make it easy to migrate up. I'm pretty sure I threw something in the bin that I didn't want to throw in the bin too. But oh well, it's gone forever now. Usually what happens is just pop blueprint in the... it actually is not really much of a thing anymore, but back in the day you'd pop a blueprint in the requester and see what comes out. Hey, it's Maholic. Yeah, it's refactoring time. You know how it is. That's not be getting that's sort of jammed up now. I suppose I better fix that train then. Actually, there's an easy way to fix it forever, and definitely won't need to come back and fix again shortly. Is to do that. And it'll be fixed forever. Right, we need to head back over to oil. Just sort of multitasking in a minute. So you can probably guess the new rail curves will be incompatible with the old ones. Save games from 1.1 can be opened and the trains will still run previously built rails just like normal, but you won't be able to construct the old rails anymore. So in some future update where we decide to drop the 1.1 save game compatibility, say 2.1, yeah, that's what I was anticipating, I would say, you'll get rid of the old rail shapes completely. Factorio is secretly a screensaver. So yeah, you'll be able to migrate them in 2.0, but presumably 2.1 they'll remove that functionality. Interesting that... Oh, you timed out. That's actually annoying. You're also clogged. Struggling DLC into JD and I release some updated blueprints. Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. So what they're doing is they're going to keep special placeholder, like they'll include curved rails specifically to maintain compatibility, and then they'll just remove them from the game later on, which means you won't be able to pull it forward. And it will just delete them. And any poor train that happened to be on the curve. Now, what was I doing here? It was... Badass, who like losing blueprints? So, usually the way around doing all the calculations is to approximate by mixing... you don't dump in too much at once, but you do a bit of a mixture of more and then faster. And you just sort of balance between the two until you get the right, the mixture just right. Rate calculator helps too. bottleneck these days doesn't hurt. I used to always be against bottleneck. But nowadays I have been known to... I don't think I've ever actually seen me use it, but I've been known to use it to visualize shortcomings in production. Yeah, there's a lot more options to do the maths for you. Admittedly though, turning into a build is still a bit of an art form. What the hell was I doing? Again, oil base, yes. So coal needs to go down and gas needs to go up because gas needs to recirculate back into here. For some reason I sent them all down instead of some up because reasons. Likewise here, I probably need to push that out. Probably doesn't matter. Probably doesn't matter. I'm just thinking because I haven't thought it all the way through yet. So yeah, this needs to come round and then connect back in to to connect the oil trains back into their system. Will there ever be a day when you can click Hell mod and get a working build? Not likely, because it's Hell mod. Now, if I remember right, I thought I had, but I guess I hadn't actually aligned these to any kind of reasonable grid. Oh, that one actually collides with that. So I suppose it makes sense to circulate them back up that way. It's mainly just to stop them cutting each other up. Having said that though, yeah, those oil trains can actually come up this way too. I threw these down just to give it some more options and I hadn't really thought of them. I admittedly haven't thought them through entirely, completely. Oh, exactly. Okay. I performed 1 unit of thunk. I think the answer will be to tighten this up. Well, something like that. Actually. So I always make this mistake of tightening things up and then regretting not giving myself enough room. So I will give it slightly more room. Actually, a better measuring stick would be that. Alright. Now I just need to turn it into a stacker. Somehow. Usually the way to go is like that. There. Although not actually like that. Because that's only a quarter of the way. It's actually more like that. So Oliver with the 59 months, thank you very much for that. You tried mixing your railway blueprints with some from Nearhouse, trains crashed, didn't even realise the trains were in the wrong direction. I haven't actually seen what Nearhouse's stuff has been like in ages. Nearhouse's builds tend to be more built for Nearhouse. And not necessarily for something that's flexible and workable for other people. At least that's how a lot of it used to be. I don't know if that's changed. As I say, I haven't really had much of a chance to see what he's been up to in recent memory. I mean, in fairness, that's how all blueprints are done, is that they're all built for the convenience of the person who made the blueprints. Like, my blueprints are for my convenience at the end of the day. Exterminator's blueprints, they're for his convenience. JD's blueprints, they're... God only knows what those are. There's some kind of monstrosity. Someone might be able to make sense of them one day. Yeah, this is something that I use down here. Having said that, though, it might not be the best choice. I think there was another combo. Undo that, undo that. There. We could just make tight junctions. That works too. When it comes down to it, I think we'll end up making changes to the blueprints, download from creators. And that's really what I'd like to see, is people taking what I've given them and then using it as a starting point to then turn it into your own thing. JD has that 2K belt balancer, the 15 megabyte. Yeah, that's sort of what you're getting into with JD stuff. How about, before committing to that, we maybe signal this thing up a little bit. Which one was it? It was second one back. So there, there, and there. I like to use the second tile back. That way you don't run into rotational weirdness if you put it too close to the junction. I've been burnt so many times by weirdness like that happening over the years. It's just really good insurance policy. What I'm actually going to do is move it there, because then it's consistent. So if I blueprint that and bring it down one, it should... yeah. So it's blue and... Well, I haven't done this one yet, so it's not going to be consistent, but yeah. That'll just make it consistent all the way through. So it's actually uniform. If I really wanted to be consistent, I would actually pull those back, seeing as I moved it all to the front. But those are just details, you know. These, however, can just be as close as possible. It doesn't really matter. What is complaining? Oh, you. Try that again. It's still not right. 3. There. I don't think that's still fixed it. Yeah, that one. I thought I saw one in the middle. Also, I haven't finished that there. That would help greatly. Ah, what tiles. Ah, run out of track. What do we actually have here? Okay. Yeah, these are trains that have been converted and upgraded. Sort of worked out to my advantage. So I was missed one off. Now you got me worried. We get electric trains? No, there's been no word of that in the DLC. The best we can do was the mod by Lucifer. I think it's called electronic locomotives. Which gives you 2 tiers of trains. It's one of the better implemented mods out there. Oh, there's a convenient chest full of track. What was the one off? Apart from that flashing. I don't see it. I mean, it doesn't mean it doesn't exist. I always miss it. That happy little lump of copper. They are always really good. I never make enough use out of them. That's the one. In the past, I've always underutilized them. And they are really good. Oh, yeah, always just missing one and one off. Oh. Well, I guess they're getting close to being done. Are they not all stuck, are they? Oh, no. They're sorting themselves out. Very good. I'm all about this. That's the... Yeah, you're the last in the chain. Just manually kick you back there. How are you doing over here? We're probably all... We're not getting anything done. And this is probably all clogged up. Yeah, it's all clogged up. For the sake of my sanity, I'll just pick them out manually. Send you there. Oh, that one's on grid. I think it's just one of those things they don't really want to get into. Yeah, that was 4.16.4. So part of the exercise, this base used to be based around 2.8. It was actually, in saying that, this base is a weird one. The output of the smelter was, and most of the base is 2.8, so all of the products were 2.8s, but the ore coming in was 4.16. And now I'm just converting everything to 4.16.4. Sort of electric? Yeah, potentially. That could be hydraulic. sort of not really specified. Working on a single rail ribbon 1K base. Ooh, nice. So it's just like a big long ribbon. I take it. Like that's immediately what I envisioned. That the base is laid out. Yep. 70% of Sweden's railroads are electrified. Similar with most of that whole region, isn't it? Sweden, and then all the way down. I'm up. I was about to say Poland, but that's the sort of region I was thinking of. You know, all the way up in Sweden, down to Poland, through the Baltics countries, so Romania and Croatia and so on. You up there again? No. Yeah. Ultimately, electric works better when you have or when you don't have large stretches of nothingness. It's actually kind of funny is that battery tech is for electric buses is sort of right where it needs to be. It's just that nobody really wants to. The problem is that to do it right costs too much. I have actually had some experience with this. Like to actually do it correctly does it genuinely cost too much, and nobody wants to spend the money on it. So they all just do these cut rate hack job fit outs instead. Oh, it's not so much that they don't work; it's just that they physically stop working. The lithium salt dissolves out of the electrolyte and turns it back into. I don't think it turns it back. I don't remember now. This is actually going back through much older knowledge. Whether it turns it back into elemental lithium or something lithium based, or like another lithium alloy, I guess you could say. And the end result is that the battery just like the lithium's come out. The thing that makes the battery a battery is gone. It's ruined forever. Yeah, take stuff. Okay, so we have the trains come in. They go out. Oil ones can come up this way. Hmm. As I say, yes, it destroys them. Freezing destroys a lithium battery. They're unrecoverable. Overhead wire bus system in the next town over, but they replace that with normal buses. It's very Eastern European to have the overhead wire buses. Like oh, where is it? The one that I sort of traditionally think it's like I can picture it, but I can't think of the town or the city. Oh, I can't think of it. It's in Russia, and it's I suppose I think Moscow actually does as well. But wow, I just gone completely blank on the. The hell was it? It's like it's a very significant historical city, and you'd think you'd remember. Trolley buses anywhere from East Germany, basically across the whole former USSR. Yeah, it's very Eastern European thing. St. Petersburg, but I don't was what came to my mind. Experimenting with overhead charging for electric buses. Weren't they experimenting with overhead charging for trucks on highways? And then that whole thing didn't actually go anywhere, and it only ever worked for like 2 months or something. What are you up to? Oh, you're doing the concrete. Okay. The construction queue continues. Where is the train now? Oh, you're over there. Ah, it brought the concrete. Supply system still works. Yeah. All right, Captain Distracto added again. So I need to run oil trains up here. These ones can run up this way as well. I don't know if 2 lanes is enough, or if I want to do 4 lanes. That's the thing that's giving me pause. That's what I'm hesitating on, is I don't know if I've got enough. Oh, well, let's just finish the stacker here. Do you happen to have train stops on you? You do. This is good. It was called entry, wasn't it? Let me just double check. Nope. Oh, looks like I have a clean slate. Okay then. Train stop lit. Yeah, sure, why not? I'll give it a limit of 1. Okie day. So you'll stop somewhere about there. There. the overhead wire for trucks. It's a bit silly. I say a bit. It's kind of interesting because one of the car maker factories in Germany has had an electric truck running for years between sites. I mean, it's only like a few kilometers back and forth. It's actually kind of absurd that they're using trucks for such a short hop. But it was one of the places where they were using it, and it was working well. Because it, ironically, because of the energy density problem, it never has to go very far. I think that actually started back in like 2013 or 14. It was a long time ago. Actually, if anything, I want to get a hold of some sodium-ion batteries. Because apparently those have been those are actually out in the wild now. Not great energy density, but none of the disadvantages of lithium. I think it's still better than hydrides. Gonna have to check the stats on those again. English teacher for 1 year in high school. She was from Springfield in the US, population 20k. She taught us in a town, population 6k. So a real tiny village. Alright, let's get back on track. Oh, that's a bad sign. Why are you clogged? And not, oh, you ran out of iron. Huh. That's a bit of a problem. Should grasp that here in your hometown there was one long distance bus a day, while in a school town there were 10 buses every day. Run out of iron, never happened to factory. No, never. Never. Why? Yeah, such a thing has never happened before. What I'll do is add a few more. And because this can't possibly curve there, instead, what I'll do is curve it that away. You should be a straight curve like that. And you go in there. Oh, that train's only half a train. Your other half has got away from you. Going back to work. See you tomorrow. Alrighty, have a good one, Tugger Bear. Listen, you had a pass in the US, you had to call a taxi to take you 20 to 30 minutes to find the closest bus service. Oh dear. That's rough. Okay, so then it will loop in like that. There. As in, can I? Nah. I want to make it proportional. As in, grab that, and that's the spacing. Got to make all nice sharp corners around here. There we go. Can't have corners that aren't sharp. Spacing's right. I mean, I could tell by eye, but I like to double check. Because I always second guess myself. Is there any advantage to rotating at 90 degrees is the only other question that comes to my mind. Potentially. Probably doesn't matter though. Right, so you come up this way. You probably come up this way. Either joins onto those two, or I might actually make those for the other side and come up this way. So these two will cross over. When you see you guys build mega builds, I always try to say to myself, this looks a bit overkill, yet you guys make it work. That's the thing, is that I've fallen into that trap where I've said, yeah, I don't need that much, this is overkill. I can simplify this, it's fine. And then it turns out as, oh no, you needed to overkill that thing. Right, seeing as though that's decidedly done. Oh, actually, how is the dump chest? I can probably survive, I think. Trashing the rest. Probably safe to do that. What I will do is turn that back on. Sands landfill. Clarice, how you doing? You go there. So it's now requesting junk. I don't remember where I hovered to actually see where it's requesting things, but it means something's being requested. Oh, I suppose that is... Oh no, that's 6 on... Well, this looks huge. What science am I at? I'm currently at 0, but the base is intended to do 8. 8,000, that is. Not 8 science a minute. 8,000 science a minute. Or 8,100. Yeah, this thing has some serious challenges on the rail line. Yeah, I was hoping the bots would actually... So they've got access to track there, so they should build it eventually. The construction queue is sort of, I think, the biggest hindrance to getting it to actually build. Yeah, everyone thinks. Thanks to Kvorix, though, we're going to have to start thinking in mega science per minute. So, coal comes in. Ah, how do we get the oil in there as well? Oh, I know how. Can come up this way. Still cross. Kvorix. One of the FFFs from a few weeks ago, he was aiming for 1.5 million science a minute. Which means that he's redefined a megabase to actually be mega. And so all megabases before it are now been have now been summarily reduced to kilobases. So this used to be a megabase, now it's only a kilobase. Or at least it will be in a few months' time. Probably the biggest pain in the ass is I never think through these builds and how to actually connect it all together and minimize traffic. Yeah, with all of the signature buildings for each planet, so your foundry, EM plant, bioreactor, and whatever the fourth thing is, the mega miners, and the quality, legendary quality beacons and machines means you can really crank out a lot of productivity. In saying that, I have a base that goes at 30 UPS at 36,000 signs a minute, although it doesn't actually go that fast currently. I get acid in here too. So yeah, you come up. It's either going to find a way to get to lubricant or get reprocessed. Oh yeah, and the item stacking as well. Oh yeah, and the science productivity research. So increasing the science productivity also counts towards that. Have to multiply the size of it by how fast your game is going? Yeah, that's the modern logic. The Colonel Will's approach to it now is that if you're doing 60,000 science a minute at only 15 UPS, are you really doing 60,000 science a minute? So I'm going to ignore this problem that I have by walking elsewhere. That's annoying. Oh look, the track got built. Yeah. You can see I'm just ignoring the oil-based problem now. Don't want to. I just don't want to deal with it. How are these doing? Suppose seeing as though it's delivering crap at oh, it's actually making concrete. Lungo figured out that Will's opinion on many things is wrong and should be ignored. It's a specific way of doing things. Well, it's kind of a logical idea. It means having better chips to play better. Will's very much burnt out on the. So we played so many games at low UPS. He won't do it anymore. Ah, crap. Will is that one. There. So you can go give him a follow. And then you can find out what the story is. Low UPS is just suffering. We suffered it for so long. It was painful. Did I want that there? Yes, I did. Then it can actually get to its destination. Yeah, part of the reason I'm sort of ignoring the problem here is that I'm starting to get very tired. It's probably time to end. I think it actually is basically time to end. As AK just comes in. Just in time for me to end in 5 minutes. Yeah, just sort of trying to deal with the problem of oil trains come in and through to here. And then they've got to actually go somewhere. It was like 419 or 418. Have a look. It was development 17. Da, 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 da. This one? Years ago, blah blah blah. Oh, that's just going through that. Oh, that's just roboports. Agriculture. That's just a revisit. Yeah. Previous page. This one. Yeah, the mining drills directly into the foundries is something. Lovely junction. The grind. Haven't reached 1 million signs a minute, but I'll get there. 240 hours. Gold is 1 million signs per minute. Trying to get almost everything legendary quality, yeah. There you go. Standard's wrong. Yeah, need to make a new standard. Organize a committee. And get the standards reorganized. Yeah, make a new standard to unify all the standards. Alright, so I think I see my problem. What I've done is I put consumers in with the producers, and that's not really workable. So I need to get the cracking, which are consumers, over here. They shouldn't be over there. There's no reason for them to be over there. That's why things are all going wrong. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I think originally I intended for them to come all the way around, but the problem is it means that they cross everything exiting, which isn't great. I actually had a dumb idea just then. I have a dumb idea. So, something that I haven't done in this base, that I did do in a different base, that I'm going to load up just quickly. Well, actually, before I point it out. So, see how the entry, it's train length plus a little bit. Train length plus a little bit. That's one way of doing things. Another solution you can do is in what I did in this base. as it loads. Isn't what ISO's trying to do? Yeah, just make a new standard to rule all standards. So on this base here, instead what happens, I'll look at the oil base specifically, is there's room for a train to stack behind it ready to go. And that's what I should be doing, realistically. For those who don't know, this is the 36K base. You can see it's 36 UPS, and we're not even running at full speed. We're only running at half. Less than half. But just doing a casual 35,000 purple signs a minute. This has been an ongoing project on the side as well, bringing this up to standard. It's mostly there. There's some junctions that need cleaning up. I've also been working on... Part of the motivation for looking at the other base is I've been cleaning up this one on the side as well. I haven't actually looked at it in a little while. This was a fun base. What's the power of this base? This one's a bit of a weird one because... So it can do... 120 gigawatts. It's doing 75 at the minute. So this one's running Factorio Extended Plus. So it's actually running on Factorio Extended's Mark III solar and accumulators, which are actually quite powerful. And so it's basically just... The entire base is just running on this solar field right there. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, that is it. I think there's some starter nuclear over here, and that's... Yeah. And some... Tier 3 steam engines, and that's about it. This one also has the junction that I mentioned. The 8-way junction. It just doesn't have the lane pairing. At least not yet. Yeah, it's got... well, it's actually got 5 lanes, because it's got a auxiliary lane for things like trash trains to slip up the middle, so that it doesn't interfere with the main train network. But yeah, this is something that I should consider, is stacking the trains behind it. I don't know why... This is like the only base that I've ever done it in, and I don't know why I haven't done it in any other. I think there was something wrong with this, having said that. Because yeah, the inner one is the service line. So yeah, that is forced down there, and that's forced down there. It can't like it doesn't go straight across, and like it has to turn that way. It can't go the other way. Doesn't join up with that. It's a project for another day. But yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. But anyway, on that quick note, over here, as we look at the rockets launch, because there's a lot of rockets launching, it is time to get out of here. So, thank you all very much for watching, hanging out. Oh, being difficult and dumb and stupid and dumb. Yeah, thank you all very much for watching, hanging out. Let's go...